Hello. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. Just give me a second. I'm a son. I'll ask him to be here. Just give me a second.
Yes, sir.
I'll get it started.
Yes, sir,
okay.
yes.
Just give me a second.
Yes.
All right.
Good evening,
All right.
sir.
Good evening. Once again, it's his son. Hang on. Let me go introduce me.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. So after a long time seeing you. So I thought you have changed a lot when I saw your son.
Sorry
So,
about that.
thank you so much, sir, for accepting my invitation without any hesitation.
Thank you.
Okay.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, shall we start? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can go on.
Okay. A very good evening to one and all. Our HOD is not available today. So, on behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering, MES College of Engineering, Kuttippuram, I would like to welcome all the registrants and participants of this webinar on career opportunities for civil engineers, organized by the Department of Civil Engineering in association with the ICI Students Chapter and ASC Students Chapter. It's my pleasure to welcome each and everyone who has joined here for today's session. Before we proceed, I would like everyone to abide by the following guidelines for the smooth conduct of the online session. Attendees are requested to mute their mic and turn off their camera. Please do not present your screen in between. Participants are free to post their questions in the chat box. The organizing team will present the question. The speaker will answer all questions if the time permits at the end of the session. Live YouTube streaming of the session is done parallelly to accommodate more participants. Recording of this webinar is prohibited. The same will be available on YouTube. Certificates of attendees who submit the feedback form will be emailed directly within 2 weeks. If you need any assistance during the program, please use the chat box. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker of the day, Dr.S.Palani Raj, consulting civil and structural engineer, to deliver a talk on career opportunities for civil engineers. I welcome you, sir. And I now invite Ms. Fatima Shahnina of S5 Civil to introduce today's speaker. Shahina.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, all. Today, we are here to take part in the webinar session on career opportunities for civil engineer. The session will be handled by Dr. S.Palani Raj, sir. Sir started his academic career as an associate lecturer in PSG College of Engineering, Coimbatore during 1963. Later joined in NIT Calicut and was the HOD during 2001 to 2003. Then became the Dean of Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore during 2003 to 2004. Principal of Nanda Engineering College, Erode, Director of Adyaman College of Engineering, Hosur during 2005 to 2006. Principal of Nagiri Institute of Engineering and Technology, Bangalore during 2006. Principal of MIT Udupi during 2009 to 2010. He is the advisor of Sri Venkateshwara High-Tech Engineering College, Gopi from 2010 onwards. He is a leading consulting civil and structural engineer, Bangalore. Now I invite Dr. S.Palani Raj sir to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Hello.
Can you hear us?
Can
Yes,
you
sir.
hear?
Yes.
Select to the civil engineering branch. And most of the engineering colleges are closing down the civil engineering branch. And even in colleges where civil engineering courses are offered, unfortunately, the strength is takers are getting reduced. But the fact is, they have a wonderful opportunity. Wonderful means wonderful when compared to all the other branches. But they are
Excuse me, sir, you're on mute. Can you please unmute?
Can you hear now?
Yes, sir, yes.
shall I continue where I left?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue.
Okay.
Shall I continue where I left?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
So, the job opportunities for more than 75 million people, and there will be a requirement of almost 110 million houses by 2022 alone in both rural as well as urban India to job immediately after graduation. And the students unfortunately do not have good communication skills. And because of so many other politics, they lose the communication skill. And in most of the colleges, the training and placement department is concentrating on campus placements for IT sector. But that much of concentration is not there for campus placement in civil engineering field. This is in general in most of the colleges we see that campus placement in civil engineering is not adequate, mainly because the training and placement department does not take enough initiative. Then why does it happen? There is a lack of connectivity between academia and industry. Now there are various areas of opportunities. The students think that civil engineering means only limited area. No, this is much more than the other branches of engineering. For example, I'm just mentioning only a few things. The order of the day, as in India, you know that Delhi is the most populated, most worst city as far as the air pollution is concerned. Next is coming Bangalore. That much air pollution is there. And we have not found out air pollution control devices so far. That is the civil engineering job. Then bridge engineering. And there are courses offered in different names like building technology and construction management, construction business management, construction technology and management. Almost syllabus is same. These are the various aspects. So that is, this particular area is concentrating on construction management. And we actually do not teach in our undergraduate curriculum whatever is required in the real construction management side and also in the project management side. So when they come out of the college, they are not able to cope up with the actual site conditions. Next is geotechnical engineering. Geoinformatics, a new one. Geometrics engineering, that is another new one. Hydraulics engineering. Health, safety and environment. hydraulics and water resources engineering, highway engineering, infrastructure engineering and management, and handling of all contractual matters, contract administration functions, then planning and cost control, project planning, monitoring, and cost control. For that, we should be familiar with MS projects and the prime mover applications. Then operation, if you take, execution with commercial, contractual equipment, and complete accountability for profitability. There is no point in doing a project where it ends in a loss. So profitability has to be ensured, means the project has to be carried out in such a manner that there is no wastage and we get the profit. And whatever profit we have already decided, that should be attained, achieved. That is the main aim of this management. Then one has to be good at civil engineering, shuttering also, reinforcement detailing, finishing, then material management, procurement, stores, then safety side, if you take site safety supervision, implementation of site management, then another field, tender and estimation. Most of the times we see that only clerks are doing the job, not engineers, right? And the tender and estimation, preparation, evaluation, and processing of tender, pre-bid negotiation, estimation, and tender submittals. This is about the tender. All these things I am talking about, the contract aspect. So in the contract management itself, there is plenty of scope, but unfortunately, this is not in the curriculum. So we in our syllabus in this area at all. So when they go out, they become unfit. They do not know how to manage a contract. There is a present scenario. Then how to overcome that, I will come to that point later. Then now we'll start the construction. So structural engineer, architect has given the plan. Structural engineer has designed. Estimation has been done. And we have got all the details of the material requirement, everything. And then we start the construction. Then if the quality is not there, what is the use of that, isn't it? So what we see normally in the field is very unfortunate that the contractor pours more water than necessary and makes the concrete fluid so that it will be easy for compacting. This is how they do it. And the site engineer doesn't have any control. He simply allows it. This is how we lose our importance. When we yield to the whims and fancies of the contractor, and the site supervisors are not actually maintaining the control over the contractors, then the quality is affected very much. This is happening in many places. And if you take the sample cubes, you can see, suppose somebody has designed for M25 concrete and we test the cube, it will be less than that. Then not only that, there are very many bad practices going on in this field. I will put the entire blame on the site supervisor who is not exercising control over the contractor. For example, when to remove the formwork. They should not allow them to remove the formwork immediately. I will tell just one example. Now, the slab is cast and then they put the bund, they pour water, they cure, and the fellow is interested in raising the column in the floor. So after 2-3 days, he comes and he has to actually put the box for the column. He removes all this bund and the water goes out. And then he starts actually putting the concrete, raising the column. How does he raise the column? Nowadays, they bring 7 feet height of box. Actually, we are not permitted to go for more than 3 feet of pour of concrete. So they pour it for 7 feet. You just see in some of the buildings, there will be only aggregate when they remove the formwork of that. And then that aggregate, they will fill it up with the plastering so that it will not be visible. This type of construction is going on. So quality has to be assured. Quality has to be controlled. This is the most important thing. And there actually we need people who will be able to exercise their, power and get things done the way in which we want. This is an area where we don't have the right type of people and we have to train people. So implementation and monitoring of quality assurance and quality control systems and procedures. Then building engineers, quantity surveyor. After all these things, when we prepare the bill, many times there are disputes between the contractor and the owner that regarding the payment, regarding the quantity that the bill prepared, the measurements taken and all that. So there are certain rules about the measurements. So engineers should know how exactly it has to be done, and accordingly the bill has to be prepared. Then another thing which is very much neglected is farm work. In large span structures and all that, farm work is very much essential, right? And that has to be designed. Now I'll tell one example. I do not tell which building and all that. In one particular building, 13-story building, the owner says that within 7 days, the formwork of the slab has to be removed, and the next floor should be ready within another 7 days, like that he says. And like that, the speedy construction, up to 13 floors, it goes on. When it went to the topmost floor, the bottom slab where the supports were there, actually, correct number of supports should have been given. Already it is something less. And when the concrete is poured, because the concrete has not completely attained its strength in the slab portion, it starts deflecting little. Even if it deflects even 1 mm, 2 mm, the bottom of the prop is getting detached. Then some of the props are not actually transferring the load. The remaining props take the load, especially at the periphery of the slab. So they are overloaded, they buckle. Then the whole slab falls. Weight of the two slabs, it is not able to carry, then it falls on the third slab. Weight of the 3 slab, it will not be able to carry, so 4th slab. Like that, all the 13 floors collapsed in the matter of 10 minutes. Why the engineer actually obeys the owner in removal of formwork? He should tell when to remove the formwork, isn't it? So design of the formwork, the number of things which were props we put and all that, he should have actually control. This formwork engineer, actually, we are not actually having nowadays. In many projects, actually, it is also left only to the contractor and bar bender and shuttering fellow, like that only. So in big works, there is a scope for a good formwork engineer. So formwork design also is a matter of concern. We have to actually say we use materials like steel, we material bamboo, we material another wood, like that. So we should know how much load it will take. It should not buckle. It should not be in a slant way. So many things are there. So formwork, is it taught in the curriculum? I doubt very much. So that is one area. Then land surveying, theodolite, total session, data transfer. Then one has to be good in concrete technology, little bit of knowledge in plumbing, electrical works, HVAC. The most important thing is firefighting. Then construction equipment, if it is there, breakdown, there is preventive maintenance of construction equipment. Then the foundation engineering. These are the areas where one has to be thorough. Now, the students have to decide whether they want office work or field work. Some of the students feel that they are sun and cold, and then talk to the laborers and things like that. So they want to sit in air-conditioned office and do the office work. This is one type of people. Another type of people, they cannot concentrate on calculations and the drawing and all that. Better that they are in the field so that they can control the laborers, contractor, like that. So that is their mindset. So some people actually prefer the field work. So one has to first of all decide. These are the two main areas. Whether they want office work or whether they want the field work. Suppose office work means, some examples only I'm telling, planning of the building, structural analysis. If they want to do structural analysis, they should be thorough with the software. The structural design. There also they can do with the software, otherwise also they can do. Structural drafting of execution drawing. Here comes very much important thing, because the drafting after a week, that is actually executed by the contractor. If there is any mistake in the drafting, then the whole thing goes wrong. So how many people are actually studying the detailing code? Do we teach in our undergraduate syllabus about the importance of the detailing code? So whether they are actually drafting of any particular structural element based on detailing code and mention how much is the overlap length, or anchorage length, that thing, this thing, and all that. Then comes another area, as I already told, quantity surveying and estimation. Then PERT CPM network diagram. If you want to be good in management, definitely we should be familiar with PERT CPM network diagram. Then contract management. Then quality control and quality assurance. So thorough knowledge in the relevant software is essential. This is in the case of what I am talking about, office work. In office work, all these areas one has to be thorough. If you go to the field work, it is only execution and supervision at site. Then, before going to the next one, I will just for the sake of we do not communicate properly, and it is misunderstood and then carried out in a wrong way. I will just tell one incident that happened. Two old men, grandpa, they went with their respective grandchild to a garden by the same, but terrible storm. For small duration, terrible storm came, and then all the trees started shaking, and then this grandpa, they went to the respective children, and one fellow says, look, the force is terrible. You may fall at any time. Be careful. You may fall at any time. But this is for short duration. It will stop. Be careful. Otherwise, you will fall. The other grandpa tells his grandchild, you just hold. You will not fall. You just be calm. Remain calm, quiet. And along with that, you just swing. And you will not fall. Be careful. You will not fall. Finally, what has happened? Because of this communication, one is actually encouraging, another is actually discouraging the other child. I will fall, it thought and it fell. See, this is the communication skill where we actually create some impression in the mind, and that mind actually acts. So, same thing happens in the construction field also, the way in which we communicate. Then, as far as the students are concerned, you have to define your strength, your weakness, your interest abilities. Everybody has got some strength. Everybody has got some weakness. Everybody has got some interest in some activities. They are able in certain aspects. They are not able in certain other aspects. They have to find out themselves and then assess themselves. So learn as much as you can about interest, you, and about the jobs and careers you are considering. That analysis you have to do. Then I will suggest, as a student, I do not know whether you have in your college, the student chapter of Institution of Engineers India. If you establish a student chapter of the Institution of Engineers India, you'll be getting the student magazine of the institution. Articles. The student chapter of the Institution of Asia. I suggest that yes, then right before completing the degree itself, we can do it, right? And that is very much important because nowadays in any public sector undertaking, they go by gate score only. So nowadays examinations are not conducted. Some places even interview is not conducted. They merely go by the gate score. So there is no point in just qualifying in the gate, getting minimum pass mark, but the score also has to be high. So supposing that one gets a very high score, he gets immediately employed within next 3 months, because so many opportunities are there in Government of India undertakings. They take only gate qualified candidates, but that much of students are not available. That's the whole problem. Then another thing is, suppose you want to go abroad and you want to practice in abroad, I will suggest that you can take AMI Structural Engineering London, associate member of the Institution of Structural Engineering London, and you have to pass the subject, you have to write the examination, and then once you pass, and then you get that AMI structure at the international level. So if you want to go abroad, everybody is telling, I want the job. You have to go through the journals. There are certain advertisements sometimes, right? Websites, there are certain advertisements that they do not do. And that, so what normally is done in good engineering colleges, when a new journal, say the Indian Concrete Journal, latest copy comes, some students are assigned. They'll have to go through the articles published. They don't have to explain all the articles. A student seminar will be there once in a week, and then they will be talking in this latest journal. These are the articles, and they will tell only about the abstract and the conclusion. That's all, not the full article. They do not make them understand the article. Not necessary, but we have an idea now what is going on, what area is emerging. All these things are important, and you have the habit of going through the later journal also. Then, because the training and placement department is concentrating mostly in IT sector, because that it is very easy to get the job because of the demand and supply. Right? Students placement cell, they should themselves form, and that should be managed. Take a project and decide the period of completion, and so many other things are there, right? Then you know how to use these projects, and projects, MS project software and Primavera software. Actually, there is a NICMAT is there. They are concentrating mostly on this project management and construction management. And all those candidates, I am told that those who are good at getting 6-figure salary after completion of the course. Then, in our curriculum, in our syllabus, we study many subjects, but we are not going to work in all those subjects. We are going to work only in one particular field of our own interest. Design field means design field, right? And construction management is foundation, that's right. Foundation engineering means foundation engineering side. Like that, we are going to concentrate only in certain area where we are interested. Then what we can do is, we can join NPTEL course. And for example, in IIT Madras, they were conducting project planning and control. And that course, if you take, and you can pass, it's all very cheap. And then there are other subjects which you are interested. You can take only, suppose I will say you are interested in the design field. You can pass the courses on strength of material, structural analysis, 1, 2, structural design, 1, 2 in RCC, in steel, like that. There are many courses, including pre-stress concrete structure, folded plate structure, whatever it be. So that area you can concentrate, and those subjects only you'll study further. And then when you enroll, you get a good study material, and you are supposed to write the assignments in time. You're supposed to write the test, and if you pass with a good grade, then that certificate issued by IIT will be very valuable for getting the job in addition to your degree, because you have specialized in the subjects of your choice. That opportunity is not available in the regular degree, right? For that sake, you don't have to go for MTech immediately. This qualification of specializing in the subjects of your choice can be obtained in your student days itself. You have to study extra. See, already you are studying something in your curriculum, but you will study a little bit more about that and get the certificate from IIT. That is more valuable also. So job opportunity is better for you. Now L&T was sponsoring MTech program in IIT Madras. And the L&T employs them after successful completion of the course. Not only in IIT Madras, some 4 other institutions are there to the best of my knowledge. There also L&T is sponsoring the course. So if one joins that course, automatically they are getting the job in Los Angeles Group, right? So we have to choose. And we have to spend another 2 years after graduation and take that subject of our choice and get employed in L&T like that. Then the most important thing is you have to choose the undergraduate project relevant to your career option. I find that in most of the colleges, some flyers, some blast furnace lab, that thing, this thing, add something, break something, and put the result. This type of project is going on, and a high-level theoretical project or high-level research project or whatever is required for the industry, that type of project, I don't find. In most of the colleges, I find. Suppose you do a project and you publish a paper based on your project. Oh, there is nothing like that. Your future is assured. So when you are careful in choosing your project, relevant to your career option, automatically you get the job, right? Because your project tells that how good are you in that particular subject. So what you have to do, you have to ask your teacher, request him to guide in particular area of your choice. Some 3 or 4 persons of your class can join together, and then they can decide in which area they want to specialize. And that area they can find out a suitable project, and they can do the wonderful undergraduate project. If it results in a publication, wonderful, right? And then what you have to do is, every student actually should give a lecture about the choice of career option. We have to discuss about that. When we make this one, because we are talking about the job opportunity, so we have to bring awareness from the students, awareness in the students' mind, that they have to think about their career option. They have to think about their job and all that. Many times what happens is they think passing the course and then only they think about getting the job, right? It is too late. Before that, they can equip themselves. For that, every student is giving a lecture about his choice of career option, and all the people discuss about that. Then some interest is created, some awareness is coming, and incidentally, this will improve their communication skill also. They are given an opportunity to talk, no? So communication skill also gets improved. Then we have to conduct programs on soft skills. It is a must. Every company is expecting proficiency in soft skill. Then comes the internship. I don't know whether internship is there in your university and your college. I don't know. But in some places, internship is a must. But what I'm noting is they enroll for internship with some company. They pay some amount and they get the certificate that they have successfully completed the internship, and they have not attended the internship not even 1 day. This type of fraud is going on. Who is to be blamed? Only the student. Because internship is actually meant for learning something practically. And that is misused by the students. By paying, they get the bogus certificate like that. And there are companies offering internship by getting the money. So when you choose the internship, you should choose the internship where you want to shine. In which field you want to shine. You have to work. Say practical experience is required. That is why this internship is there. What about the medical profession? Look, they have to go for house surgery, no? 1 year they are doing that, no? That is something like internship only. So you have to prepare your own portfolio based on your work during internship. Then another thing I find in some colleges, this academic atmosphere is there in the department. So if I just watch what the students are talking, I have found in some colleges, they'll be talking how to get admission in US and how to get a job in US, how to write TOEFL, how to write GRE, how to write GMAT, or how to write CAT, like that. They are always discussing about the further career promotion aspects. This is the academic atmosphere is there in that department. I guess in some other colleges, what the students are talking about the serial that they have seen in TV, about the films released latest, and they talk about others, politics and things like that, and the irrelevant about their career. So that the academic atmosphere is not there. So you have to create an academic atmosphere in the department. So you have to go for such activities which will create academic atmosphere in the department. Okay. Now, as I already told you, you have to update yourself according to the industry need. A global vision and approach of the problem identification, and next, the most important thing, problem solving in areas such as infrastructure, environment, facilities, systems, etc., etc., etc. Right? The problem solving is a great thing. It's not that simple joke. When there is some problem in the construction field, how to solve it efficiently, it requires a lot of skill. Then a basic management knowledge base in areas such as business, resources, personal management, communication skill, cost and value judgment, and time management, like that. Now itself we take, I will tell only about time management now. How do you manage your time 24 hours? You just sit, think how exactly you are managing your time. How much time you have usually spent for your career? How much time you have spent usually for your studies? How much time you have wasted? You just find out. Then whether you have used the time correctly. If you just have your own judgment about yourself, about the time management, you'll understand where you are. A solid foundation in personal and interpersonal attribute, ethics, etc. Then, American Society of Engineering Education has listed what emerging engineers need to know. So in America, they have actually tried to enforce this. One is communication. One should be able to communicate. And another is writing. Whatever he writes, others have to understand. Professional ethics. We have a subject, but it is not followed in practice. That's what we see from our engineers in the field. Then team and teamwork, personal interaction, creative thinking, fundamentals, application of statistics. As far as the mechanical engineering is concerned, manufacturer, performance, reliability, safety in the design field, business skill, and knowledge in computers. These are the things they consider as a must for emerging engineer. For that, you must learn how to learn. That is the most important thing. You must learn how to learn. This is part of your preparation for being an engineer. Our profession will require that you keep up with new developments while you work. Lifelong learning. For example, I will tell you, Indian Standard Code of Practice, let us say, it gets revised periodically. So whatever code you have studied during your student days, the same thing you cannot follow. You have to update with the revision of code, isn't it? So like that, there are so many areas where some advancements take place, some developments take place. So lifelong learning is very much required. I have got the degree. I have passed in honors. I have passed in distinction. I have passed in first class. No use of that. That knowledge has to be enhanced by latest developments. Being smart is not enough. Not at all. You have to expect the unexpected. A proper attitude is vital for that. Have realistic expectation and be willing to earn place in the organization. This is what is very important because people lose job in a month or two because they are not earning the right place in the organization. Expect work to be different than college. Learn the art of being new. Demonstrate maturity by showing you know how much you don't know. That is very important. I have seen some people telling, I know everything because they have passed the degree, I know everything. This type of attitude is not correct. You know how much you don't know. You have to know that, right? Learn as much as you can about your company and the people in it by listening. When you join a job, if you do not know what the company is doing, what are their requirements, and if you don't know anything about that, how can you shine there? So you have to learn as much as you can about your company. And then college only gives you a part of what you need to be successful. Within the given 4 years' time, they cannot give you much more than that. Then you have to actually take care of yourself. That will be on the job training. So don't believe you know everything when you start. That is the thing that I have seen in some other students. Recognize what you don't know and make an effort to learn it quickly. Accept that you don't know something. And if it is required for your career, learn it quickly. Don't be afraid of asking questions. Learn the culture. Each company has its own unique personality and culture. It differs from country to country, MNC to MNC, right? So you have to learn the culture. The culture is unique set of rules and norms, often unspoken and informal about how you should behave. Now, when you see this, the culture, this is something out of this thing. In some of these self-finance engineering colleges, the culture is like that. Whatever you write internal, everybody will get full mark or very close to full mark. Whether they have attendance or not, they pay the money if they do not have attendance and get the attendance. This is the culture. Then when somebody is groomed with this culture, how can they come up in life? The culture is a unique set of rules and norms, often unspoken and informal about how you should behave. You have to watch how others behave, observe how people communicate and work together. And this observation is very important. Many times you see, we don't observe. For example, I will tell you, you just travel in the bus, right? Many times I see that while traveling in the bus, people have the mobile and then go on seeing something in the mobile, right? And suppose that they see outside the buildings, their elevation, the number of stories they have constructed, the way in which it looks, and the congestion, traffic problem, all those things, if they can see, they get some idea. But what they do, they will just go through the mobile only. This you can see. Then they will put the music, put the earphone, listen to music with the eyes closed. And they don't see what is happening outside. So we lose that opportunity of observation around us. That's what I'm trying to communicate. Be conscious of making a good impression. Everyone is trying to assess your ability and strength. Be careful. Be very careful. Everyone is trying to assess your ability and strength. So you have to work hard to build a good reputation. Good judgment, and ability to fit into a team. Another important thing when you go when you have got already job, you have to keep that job safe for you now. So you have to learn what your boss wants and expects. That is the most important. And you have to find a mentor to give you advice and help you adapt. So many times, people do not try to find a mentor to help. The mentor can help you in building a network of colleagues. Today, engineering is becoming increasingly specialized. Students should plan to pursue their master's degree, regardless of their engineering discipline. Now, immediately after BTech degree, one can go for a job. That's there. When they are qualified, they can go. They can write IES examination. They can write GATE examination. They can get very good government jobs and public sector undertaking jobs and all that with that qualification in addition to the degree. The other way is go for a postgraduate course. With a master's degree, engineers will be given noticeably more responsibility, more important tasks, more technical tasks because they are postgraduates. They will move up the corporate ladder more rapidly. And they'll have greater self-confidence and better technical skills. A master's degree will pay off with higher salaries and more rapid advancement. But merit is what people think, why should I waste 2 years, right? But there is some point in that, because some of the master's degree actually are made only to make them scientists, not as a industry-oriented one. So you should not choose such courses. If you want to go for, if you want to become a scientist, okay, you take such master's degree. But you want to go for a field work, office work, and the private sector, construction side, and all that, you have to choose such a course only. And there are many recent trends. Now, you would have seen in newspapers, in years to come, there is going to be a world war on water because of the scarcity of the water, like that. Many times you got to see in the news, sometimes in the TV channels, like that, about the water scarcity that is threatening us in the years to come. So what has happened is, some advanced countries have started a course on water technology. So water technology has newly been introduced in world scales and would don center stage globally. It is acclaimed as one of the most technologically advanced skill globally. Mechanical, you have to study; chemical, you have to study; IT, you have to study; electrical engineer study in this water technology. You cannot study only about water. You have to study all these things also. More than 90% of the water is now becomes untreated. It is important that we should treat the water and make it portable to reuse it in the most economical manner. So this water technology course is going to create more jobs, and water technology sector is going to be very promising in coming days. So what I'm trying to say is, how many people know that a new course is introduced in water technology in abroad? And that is actually is a coveted one and getting very good job and all that. How many people know? So only if you just go through the newspaper daily, and if you go through the magazines, then only you will understand all these things. So some of the following subjects are covered in water technology course: environmental engineering, environmental pollution, climate change, water supply, treatment of wastewater, flood protection, desalination, sustainability, water as energy source, sanitation, industrial wastewater treatment, drinking water treatment, like that, the list goes on. So this area is emerging like anything, where jobs are available abroad. Some of the institutions I will tell who offer this water technology. One is in Germany. That is another one in University of Geneva. Another is University of Manchester, right? And water treatment certificate program is offered by AACE. And one small thing is that in Jamshedpur, Excel Institute of Water Management. But it has not come to the world standard, but something is better than nothing in India. Then, if you want to be employable and job ready, these are the things I will suggest: your communication skill, your knowledge beyond the textbooks, the ability to lead. Here, I would like to say, as a student, you try to be a leader of your civil engineer association secretary or tour secretary or that thing, this thing, like that. So you show your ability to lead. This will actually help you in campus placement. You should have a positive approach, updated with the latest technology, willingness to travel, knowledge of foreign. This is very much. Suppose knowledge of foreign languages is very much. If you want to go up the ladder, because when we are working in MNC, we have to actually communicate with those people in their language. So you have to study, say, German language, French language, something like that, so that depending upon that MNC, you'll be able to communicate in their own language means it will actually make you go up the ladder. Better that you take, if you want, instead of MTech degree, MB degree also, and you should improve your ability to multitask. Then you should be versatile, you should be ambitious. This will escape. So I will suggest that you improve your communication skill. You go for knowledge beyond the textbooks. You go for ability to lead. I do not describe much. Have a positive approach. Update yourself with the latest technology. You should be willing to travel. You should have the knowledge of foreign languages. If you want, you can take MBA degree also. Then you should have the ability to multitask. I have seen many people, I will do only one at a time. I will not concentrate on more than one. Multitask, they are not interested. Actually, I will put it this way. You are a class leader. You are studying. So you're actually improving your expertise as a leader, isn't it? So this is the type of multitask. So an engineer is expected to multitask in his organization. While he plays the leader to his teammates, he may simultaneously be expected to handle client queries. When the client queries are there, you should know how to solve it, how to reply, how to answer with all diplomacy, right? For that, your communication skill is very much important. An ordinary engineer who lacks the ability to handle many tasks at a time may fail to cope with these industry expectations. So there is a need for improving your ability in multitask. If you have to survive in the engineering field, own your multitasking abilities. So don't say that I will do only one at a time. I will not go for multitask. Then in the college, you just encourage to go for group discussion, right? You can arrange. So give a topic of your interest in the subject matter and also the job related matters. And then go for group discussion. It will be a wonderful experience. Then you can have some expert also when the group discussion is taking place. And just for your information, people say that there are no takers. Then I had given some list: Airport Authority, BEL, BHEL, BPCL, EAL, GAIL, HAL, HPCL, HUDCO, IOCL, IRCON, ISRO. Oh, list goes on. Max and like that. So many this thing. So I have not listed everything. I listed some of the things only. But how many people know that there are so many central government organizations looking for people with the GATE score? Many people do not know. Many people do not apply. Many people do not get ready for that job. Then I am told that there is a national digital library recently started in IIT Kharagpur. I have given the link. There are 4 crores 60 lakh books. It appears now. And then you can just have access to that library and then study the books of your choice. It's not possible for us to purchase all the books, right? And our library also cannot have all the books. Imagine 4 crores 60 lakh books are there. So if you go through this type of digital library and enroll yourself, you have a chance to go through the latest books. There's a very good opportunity we have in India. The sad part in India is that engineering profession is not regulated through the passage of engineers bill in parliament. Why we have such a bad situation? I will tell you why. Now take a medical profession. And any doctor, MBBS graduate, has to register with Indian Medical Council. Only then he is allowed to practice. Take a chartered accountant. He has to register with Institution of Chartered Accountants. Take a lawyer. He has to register with Law Council. And like that, all these professions, medical, legal, accountancy, all these things are regulated by their organizations. We have Institution of Engineers India, but they do not do anything in this area as Council of Architecture is doing? Can anybody practice as architect? Can you put a board as an architect? It is an offense, right? But civil engineering, you see, construction, you see, anybody can construct. Illiterate fellow, uneducated fellow, they construct. They don't need engineers. This is the sad affairs. And right from 1980, I think, we were trying to get the engineers bill passed, but it was thwarted in the parliament. So now actually something better is coming. That actually people have to work. That is, enactment of engineers bill would regulate the engineering community and forge an effective path of true engineering to be practiced. A bill was drafted in 2003, as I told earlier, but it got stuck in the bureaucratic billing. Now the center has taken up this issue, has entrusted the drafting of the bill to AICTE, and is currently being processed in MHRD. We are hopeful that the bill would be enacted soon. Students should take up this issue and pursue. That is, if the engineers bill is passed, our right of architecture, minimum salary, and getting the job, like that. So you study more about this engineers bill. I'm not concentrating much in this lecture, and the usefulness of that engineers bill, and the student force, is enormous. They can show their force and their strength in getting this engineers bill passed. Engineers bill will certainly regulate the profession, and there will be control on the quality issue. There need to be a separate subcommittee to address the construction industry related issues, as the bill is a general one for the entire engineering community. The education system also needs to change. We need to instill proficiency, honesty, and integrity aspects in future engineers. And now, as far as the syllabus is concerned, it's outdated. The graduates lack the skill required by the industry. They are not trained properly in the college academy. There is no dearth of jobs in these sectors. But the reality is that instead of hiring mediocre engineering graduates, companies prefer to recruit diploma engineers who have more field knowledge and take lower salaries. See, the diploma fellows are getting more field experience than the beta graduates. There is an urgent need to revamp the syllabus for civil and the students should be made more employable. They should become relevant for the industry. This aspect, syllabus has to take care of. When these sectors are moving swiftly towards automation, we also need to train our students in computing and coding. Strong industry tip is required. So when you are the sufferer, you have to take the lead, right? And there's no point in blaming. The syllabus is difficult. The question paper was tough. The evaluation was tough. The teacher did not teach properly. All these things, if you tell, there is no use. What you have to think, how to come up in life. That way only you have to think, rather than putting the blame on others and escaping. So Indian Engineering Service, IES, I told you, to try that also. I have given the various job opportunities in the government sector. Well, so I will try to conclude because I think more than 1 hour we have talked. It will be boring to listen for more than 1 hour. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is, do not depend exclusively on your beta course and beta syllabus. You try to find out, as I told you, what the industry needs. And accordingly, you conduct certain courses by inviting experts from the field. And then for that, you have to have a placement cell of the students. And if you learn the subjects required in the field, definitely you will get the job, because, as I told, so many millions of jobs are waiting for 2022. And I hope you listen to me and make efforts to improve your skills and be employed immediately after passing. Wish you all the best. Good luck. Thank you. Jaykumar. எங்க இருக்கு chat box? Companies cannot decide the syllabus, Actually, in Larsen Bro, they have actually prescribed the subjects in which they want the graduates. So IIT and IIT Chennai and some 3 or more institutions are offering MTech courses according to the syllabus or subjects prescribed by Larsen Bro, but taught by IIT professors, so that the L&D is actually getting the people in the area they want as experts. So they get the job. There are certain courses, but it is not actually widely present. So we have to actually tie up with some industries and find out what exactly the courses they want for their industry. And in our institution also, we can try to have that as extra, not necessarily as a, university syllabus, because that cannot be done immediately. It is not within our hands. But subject knowledge can be obtained. That is sufficient. That is why I said, NTPL course, if you attend in subjects of your choice or the company's requirement, then that is an additional qualification for you to get the job. Okay? Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Please come up.
Do companies recruit farm work engineers? That's the question. Actually, Larsen Toubro company was actually constructing the second phase of Bangalore International Airport. And there, most of the items were precast elements. And then they have to actually assemble and erect. Unfortunately, they did not have the formwork engineers who can actually give a formwork which will carry the load for the given condition. So L&T contacted me and I tried to understand their problem and then we solved the problem. Why I am trying to say is L&T company does not have good formwork engineers. So the importance of formwork is not actually emphasized in our curriculum also. It is not even taught, if I remember correct, right? So formwork engineering is also a part of necessity for a construction. That's all I want to say, right? Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Please come up. So I guess that thank you so much, sir, for clearing all of the doubts and questions in the most perfect way. Students, please note the feedback link is provided in the chat box. Students are requested to submit your feedbacks as soon as possible. Now I invite Srisham, sir, to address the vote of thanks.
I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
So good morning, all. Myself, Srisham, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. My responsibility today evening is to convey the vote of thanks. Our speaker, Dr.S.Palani Raj, sir, talked on a wide range of topics on opportunities for civil engineers and various tips to attain them. He explained how you should learn, how students should learn. What students should learn, how they should learn, what are the opportunities for them, what should be their work culture, and how to build their career. He also meant, by all these things, he also meant, as far as opportunities are concerned, they don't come to you, come to students. Opportunities are to be grabbed, and for that they have to they have to recognize their interests and put in their greatest efforts. Thank you, sir, on behalf of Civil Engineering Department and respected HOD for setting aside your valuable time for this interesting session. Thank you, all faculty members and students who participated in the webinar. Also to those students who helped in convening this webinar. Thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having given an opportunity to talk to you all. I find it as a pleasure to address the students because they need some guidance. So whatever is possible, I have done. Thank you very much for having given an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
No, thank you,
Thank you.
Palani sir.
Mm.
Very good talk, sir. Thank you for giving such an informative session to my students.
Thank you.
So actually, when we used to study BTech and MTech and BTech, I completed in 97. So when those days we didn't have an opportunity like this, talk to experienced hands to know at least what are the opportunities you're having in the civil engineering field. That was one thing lacking those days.
So it was a really well-structured talk, sir. I am sorry I was a little late. I just had to go to get some medicine for my father and mother. So I'm the HOD. But as from the moment I joined until the end, your talk was excellent, sir. Very informative and, in fact, very inspiring for the students.
Thank you very much. Actually, my throat was not good, so my voice may not be good this day today.
Still, it was stereophonic, sir. It was stereophonic. Very good.
Sir, Palani sir's talks is always like this, very informative also. He's very humorous.
I mean, no one would say that his throat had any problem at all.
Yes. So no, 15 years, no difference at all.
Is it?
Yes, sir. Only little more white hair, but otherwise no difference.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
So again, sir, we'll be calling you for we have conferences or seminars coming up. So again, you will have to find time for us.
Welcome, no problem. I'm a retired person. I have enough time. So God has blessed